Welcome to the Heat Beat postgame show. I'm your host, Giancarlo Navas, and with me today, on the bottom, is producer and co-founder Brian Goins.
That was a punch in the groin, guys. Whoever's listening to this, God bless you, man, because I don't want to be here.
A punch in the goins. Brian, we have the listeners. We love our listeners. We love our friends here on the Miami Heat Beat Twitch post-game show. If you're listening on the podcast, remember, after every game, we are here, twitch.tv/MIA Heat Beat. After every show with video, we are here to bring you the energy. We are here to talk you off the ledge. We are here to bring you the culture. We are here to give all of that. To my left, we have our 2K coach, Franky.
I hope this is the end of the Kendrick Nunn era.
Franky, would you like to duck to show the audience what your background is? It's I think it's Misato from Evangelion saying, "I feel sadness, but the tears just won't come." That's either Misato or Shinji. That's a very both Misato and very Shinji thing to say. So we got that going. It's also a hell of a mood. Where can we start? You guys want to start with Nunn? I want to start. I do want to start with saying Heat and 7.
No,
Senpai notes in the chat.
It's not fucking Heat and 7. That's not happening.
It's Heat and 7.
Not against this fucking Lakers team.
You let it go of the rope. You let it go. You let it go of the fucking rope.
Unless Dragic miraculously comes back.
I'm not letting
and
go
has
of the rope.
Lateral quickness like he did.
Brian, it's very simple. Today was not
Dragic so fucking bad this game. It's unbelievable. Like, he fucking tried to give it a go. I can't
Put the Ava background back on, Frankie.
I can't. I'm sure he fucking feels like shit because he tried. He tried his fucking might to fucking play this game, and he couldn't. He couldn't fucking. He couldn't defend Chris Quinn on a fucking pregame warmup.
I mean, it's Chris Quinn. Nobody can defend Chris Quinn.
The story today, guys, was the 3-point shooting that has seemingly abandoned them. So, I mean, I was upset at Kendrick Nunn on Twitter. We're all upset with Kendrick Nunn on Twitter. I'm obsessed with the revolving door of dribble handoffs that lead to another dribble handoff, that lead to another dribble handoff, that lead to a shot clock violation, right? Like, that's the kind of offense that they were not doing. And it was a lot of... There was not as much movement off ball. They were not moving with purpose. They were not slipping. They were not screening well. They were not doing a lot. And we can go through individual moments of the game. We can go through the Jimmy missed 3 to then the KCP corner 3. We can go corner P taken, dunking off the dribble. We could do a lot of that shit, and that doesn't matter. Like, we're all upset. We're all, like, kind of angry. At the end of the day, this team, which has made its money off its 3-point shooting. This team that has set itself apart is because of its 3-point shooting. Because against the Bucks, what ran terror was the 3-point shooting and how that completely annihilated the Bucks drop defense. And then you have against the Celtics, when it abandoned them, they were able to find enough to make it. They shot like 32%, 33% today. It's just not enough. It's just, they cannot beat great defensive teams with that kind of shooting performance. And unless Jimmy goes for 40, 13, and 10, it's not happening. So you got to hope that they're going to have this layoff and we're going to come back Friday and they're going to be able to get some screening back. If Goran can just somehow play, I mean, at this point, Goran at 30% has to be better than Kendrick Nunn. I mean, I don't, Frankie, Kendrick was just, he was doing too much. He was doing too little. He was just doing the wrong thing at all fucking times.
You know, it's easy to blame it all on him, but it's also a lot of the Heat standing around waiting for someone to make a play, and Nunn has never shied away from a shot opportunity in his whole life. So, you know, it's obviously he needs to be smarter, but the Heat know that he's gonna shoot the ball whenever he has a sliver of opportunity. And Jimmy not being forced to take all these shots and take control of the game led him to be very passive self. We've seen all year Jimmy's tried to pass off the best player on the team tag to Bam, to Goran, to Tyler. Jimmy doesn't want to be the alpha. He wants to be the ultimate glue guy. He wants to fit in, make plays, defend the other team's best player, rebound, create, and if he scores 16 points, he's perfectly fine. He doesn't want. He has the alpha talent, but he doesn't have like the alpha shot mentality.
I'm gonna say something that I don't know if it's gonna be unpopular, or I don't know how people are gonna feel about that. I think. Listen, I've been on this podcast being an anti-Nunn person for a very, very long time. And by the way, tonight Jimmy shot 8 of 17. Not that bad. 22 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists. Kind of similar to his game 1 numbers. You know, he's almost average. He's pretty much averaging a triple-double for the series. The issue was when Anthony Davis was sinking on Jimmy Butler in pick and roll. They're screening really high for him, and he's just not stepping into that really long 2 or that 3. And it just completely discombobulated their offense in a way that I don't think we've seen all year. In game 1, it was a lot of weird shit. But today, the drop in that pick and roll was just absolutely detrimental to what they did. And I thought the Lakers, I think what a lot of teams sometimes do that kind of creates confusion. And if you look at game 3, a lot of the Heat's buckets were off Laker confusions, right? Because they have a lot of different coverages. Some things they switch, some things they don't, some things they drop. It's a very complex thing. So when you have a lot of movement off ball, you know, a team get confused. The Lakers kept it really simple today. We're sinking on these pick and rolls, and Miami was just not hitting their 3-pointers, which obviously if you drop and you're not hitting your 3s, that's great. And they were doing it on everything. So even that's why Duncan had a better game today. It's not magic, right? Everybody's like fucking pounding on Duncan's grave. the bigs are not stepping up in that handoff. So now Duncan all of a sudden has room. Even if the guard is attached to his hip, he's shooting over guys like Caruso, guys like KCP. Right? Duncan had a good game. It was the big stepping. Yeah, and again, when you're not sending that extra guy in that handoff, all of a sudden he looks like a completely different person, right? So that adjustment was consistent. The Lakers were not trying to be pretty. They were just like, yeah, if Duncan goes off, whatever. We are not going to overcomplicate our scheme. And it absolutely neutered Miami's late game offense. Miami getting a guard to screen for Jimmy and get that switch was not working. They were just keeping AD on him. It was good. It was too much Tyler dribble. And as a result, what you get is a revolving door of handoffs with Nunn and Tyler. And in game 3, I really liked Jimmy triggering the dribble handoff. Today, I didn't like it. Olynyk was just not the way he was. Again, partly because there just wasn't the space. So there was a lot going on today that did not go their way. And despite all of that, they were in the fucking game till the end.
Yeah, the Lakers to 102 points. That was a perfect defensive game that they played for what, two and a half games now. And they couldn't capitalize on this one. And it makes no sense because they had the first half especially, they had so many wide open 3 looks. Tyler Hero, I know especially, missed like 2 or 3 of his first 3-pointers until the fourth quarter is when he stepped up. But like those are buckets that you need to make in order to actually push that lead ahead, because they could have easily been up by 10 to 15 points by half. And they weren't. And they basically were playing behind the entire game. I don't think they won a single quarter
Yeah, they did. They won the second quarter.
Then still, it wasn't enough because obviously, like the last game, they basically won or tied every single quarter, and they fell behind a lot. And
I don't think series is over.
It was like 2 points each quarter that they were down. So like they were chipping away at certain points of the game, and then the Lakers, like in the end of the third quarter, they got 4 free throws towards the end, that like last 30 seconds. That honestly, if Nunn was not in fucking game, they probably wouldn't have had those free throws.
I think that the Heat are right there in a couple ways. I think if they kind of shoot, I mean, they've been shooting around 35% for the series, and I think if they get that today, they win this game. I think that the balance of a lot of quarters fell on some of that stuff, those way-ass open threes that they were missing, right? All that stuff kind of goes their way, and the Lakers are then forced to change that drop defense. That the game really swung on that Jimmy missed 3. That's not his fault. He kind of has to. I mean, we make fun of Ben Simmons for not taking that shot. Jimmy Butler has to take that shot, and that's the shot. I think Cooper Moorhead was the one that tweeted it out. That's the shot that's gone in for Miami this whole postseason.
He's made that shot too.
Yeah,
they've won these games, these close fourth quarter games, all playoffs.
They brought it back. It was a 1-point game at some point, and then Crowder brought it to 3, or Duncan brought it to 3. One of them hit a 3 to bring it to 3.
Crowder did.
It was
Crowder.
Or was it 3 or 4? They were down 7 at that point, and then
he hit the 3 on the scramble.
They were down still 2 possessions. It was 4 points.
I know that the balance of a series is very light, right? So sometimes it comes down to a weird Tyler travel, a missed 3, and that's it, and like a couple offensive rebounds that just don't bounce your way. You know what I mean? So I understand the fan base is mad. I do think that there's a lot of stuff on offense. I did not think their offense looked very good today. I'm curious to see what their offensive rating was for the day. Brian, I don't know if you can ask Cooper Moorhead, if you could tweet him, or you can ask Christian or something, kind of figure out if you can get me that information. It just did not feel good today, and I'm not even looking at the point total because, I mean, I don't care about that. That game was played at a slow pace.
It's also all the extra possessions they gave them.
Yeah, I mean, the rebounding is going to be bad. It's just going to be bad. And the Heat are going to try to limit their chances in transition so they can't crash the boards the way they want to. If not, the Lakers are going to leak out, and they're going to kill you. And you saw a couple possessions where that
I meant the Lakers' offensive boards, all those second, third opportunities that Rondo, Caruso getting scrap plays. But that's on the guards, too. That's on Hero, Duncan need to find a body. None. There was one that late in the fourth, like Nunn's last minutes, where he just doesn't look for Caruso at all. Caruso steals that, and that's a big play right there. It's just those little plays add up, man. You keep like there's
the plays that Miami won all postseason long.
That's their identity. So they've kind of lost their identity this series.
I think that Goran's a big part of that. I mean, Goran.
Yeah, no, 100%. Goran's a big leader for them, as attitude-wise, offensively, and they really go as he goes. They're definitely missing him, but man, that's supposed to be Heat culture. The scrappiness we're getting out scrapped by the Lakers, by Rondo and KCP. Fuck my life, we lost to KCP.
I know that's the worst, and I made fun of KCP for I still don't think that guy's that good, but whatever.
I mean, he had 2 bad games, and then he finally stepped up in this one. He stepped up in game 1. He stepped up in game 4 now. So yeah, I mean, he's bound to have a good game every once in a while. I mean, he's bound to have a good game every once in a while.
Bam's only gonna look better. That's the other positive thing that we can take from that. The only 3 Heat players scored in double figures today. It was Jimmy with 22, Tyler with 21, and I guess 4. Duncan with 17 and Bam with 15.
Those are your 4 best players.
Yeah, I mean Crowder got 8. Nunn somehow threw up a million shots and only got 6 points. 2 for 11. Jesus Christ.
Those 2 were 3-pointers.
And those 2 were threes in the first half. It just, you know what I mean? It's tough. And they didn't even turn the ball over that much. They had 11 turnovers for the game. So, when you're not turning the ball over, you're helping yourself. The Heat don't beat themselves, at least offensively. They execute really well.
Yeah. Miami's bench, 4 of 18 overall, 2 of 9 from 3.
Kelly has to be better. Again, without Goran, they don't have that margin for error scoring. They just don't. Like, without Goran there, and the thing I said on Twitter was, Goran knows when to do too much and when to not do that much, right? So, like, Kendrick Nunn only knows how to do too much, and that just killed Like, Goran knows when, when AD sinks on that pick and roll and Jimmy stops his dribble and he immediately pivots into a handoff, and then Nunn is coming off that handoff, Nunn's not giving the ball up, right? And it's a lot of dancing left, right, doing all that stuff, going to I made the joke, at least Dion has a damn spin move. You know what I mean? Like, it's really frustrating for them.
And Nunn's not even hitting the open shots, too. Like, you could live with some of that if Nunn.
He's fucking useless if he's not hitting the pull up.
He's not hitting anything. He's not hitting anything. Like, he doesn't play good defense. He takes really wide angles on everything, pick and rolls, off ball screens, DHOs, everything. He's taking the widest angles and getting beat to the basket. He's not giving you anything offensively. He's not making plays. It's just inexcusable to play him and play him for that much. He played 26 minutes tonight. There's no reason for that.
Yeah, he had a bad shooting night pretty much all game. And
I mean, but it's not. I mean,
he played the majority of the fucking fourth quarter too, like the first 5 minutes almost.
And that's on Spo. That's completely on Spo because that you have an extra day's rest too, and this is a must-win game. Like, you need to play your best guys right there as much as possible. It's not just an extra day's rest. Spo's gonna get an extra day to prepare. There's gonna get an extra day to prepare how to deal with that drop stuff, how to deal for Jimmy in particular. I mean, Jimmy played 43 fucking minutes tonight. You know what I mean?
Should have played more.
Bam didn't even feel like that.
Yeah, he should have played more.
It really did. I mean, but the problem is that at times he kind of disappears from the offense because he's not, he wasn't really, and he took 17 field goals. Well, Tyler took more, which that's the problem. If you look at the box score and if you feel the game, like, as good as Jimmy was, 22, 10, 9, 47% shooting, getting to the line only 7 times is just not good enough for him. And he just, Tyler was just more active, and part of that is Tyler can shoot off the bounce and off that drop scheme. It's going to be better. And listen, that drop has just bothered them, and we made fun of Tim at Tim_NBA for saying that Tyler is not good against the drop, and so far the Lakers have gotten a lot of fruit out of that today, and it wasn't like it was in Game 2, and the Heat shooters haven't been good, and I don't know if they could win the series. I think Game 6 is going to be a good game for them. I think that they're going to come out with what they need to do. I think they're going to have a better plan. I think Bam's going to be a little healthier. I hope Bam's not in foul trouble. That's the other thing that, really takes him out of the game, especially when he's being aggressive, attacking, kind of going at AD, and then all of a sudden he gets pulled from the game. That's the other thing. You kind of got to hope that in the next game he's not in foul trouble again to kind of keep it going. And again, it's obviously a 3-1 lead is not insurmountable, but it's not a very fun thing to be. We've seen crazier things happen in the NBA. We've seen more talented teams than this Laker team lose up 3-1.
We need Doc
you know-
Rivers to coach the rest of the series.
Or Steve Kerr.
God.
Again, like I'm upset, I'm sad, I'm broken, but I also
There's
feel,
we still haven't had the good Miami Heat shooting game. There's still
I
opportunities.
don't think they've played well all fucking series, man. That
They
game,
haven't
No.
played well
three,
from
I don't think
three
they
since
played
game.
well.
They
I
haven't
think they
shot
do.
well
I mean-
from three since game one against Boston, man.
Yeah, it's credit to the Lakers, but Miami's missing a lot
big
of the,
big
Mi-
credit to the Lakers. They've been
Miami's
awesome.
doing it a lot to themselves as well. Like they don't even give themselves a bit of breathing room with some of those with all those open threes. But they haven't shot open threes well like the last two series. It's been ridiculous. Like over the last two series, just completely like you would think they're due at some point.
The number to me that sticks out, the 2 for 7 from Jay Crowder. That's cute against Boston. Without Goran, he can't do that. He needs to be like 4 for 9, right? Like that's what you need out of him. The 0 for 2 from Olynyk. I don't like that he only took 2 threes. I think that you got to take more. You got to look for your shot more. You got to be assertive more. 1 for 4 from the field, obviously not good, and that one was the layup. Frankie, how did you feel about those little Bam KO minutes? Because I tweeted out that might be telling for the rest of the series how they look and go to that. I thought it looked pretty good. I know that KO missed an open 3.
Yeah.
And they had a weird like foul on the other end that wasn't Bam or Kelly's fault, but I kind of like what I saw in the limited time they were together.
Man, Bam and KO have had like tremendous chemistry that like I feel like I think this year was the only exception, but the first 2 years they played together, they were a part of like most of Miami's best lineups, 5-man groups. So I've always been a huge fan of that formula consistently. Coming into the season, I thought Kelly might start because he just plays so well with Bam.
So did we.
Yeah, but I'm a big fan of it, especially with the Lakers drop system. It gives them more pick and pop options. You saw how good they started the last 2 games with Myers starting, so I'm a fan of it. Especially if I think Tyler has struggled starting. Finding a little bit of his rhythm in different ways, not being able to see the game off the bench and getting and going against bench lineups also. But I think the shooting bigs really opens up Miami's offense for them. Myers isn't great defensively, but he competes. He boxes out. He's not going to get a lot of rebounds, but he's going to box out and he's going to space the floor. And Kelly does the same thing. And I think with Bam in there at the 4, it helps size up a little bit, and you're not giving up as much on the perimeter, on the rebounds. Bam is very switching onto guards, onto LeBron, 1 through 5, and you have multiple guys. I'm good with it. Kelly's a gamer. He'll compete and he'll make shots.
Jimmy was the leading rebounder for this team today.
Yeah.
Felt like it.
Yeah, 10 rebounds.
Bam
had like 8 or
Bam
9, right?
The Heat didn't get killed on the glass. I mean, they only got out rebounded by 3. So like it felt like a lot more.
But a lot of those were towards.
How many
the end of the
offensive
game.
rebounds did the Lakers have?
Let me check, but it was only out
They had
rebounded by
10.
3. The Heat
They
had
had 10.
39.
Miami had 7. They were out.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, but a bunch of those were towards the end of the game.
Did they get a lot of
And-
second chance points? Because it feels like they fucking did.
It just they just got him at like kind of backbreaking moments, but I think that as a coach and like if we look at this analytically, like we can't just like look at those big moments and decide you're gonna like make wholesale adjustments. I think the game plan is pretty solid. I think they played good enough defense to win the game. Clearly the issue was on offense, which it hasn't been all series. I mean, that first half of game 1 was a fucking disaster, and since then their offense has been grooving. Today, it did not look that way. I don't think it's Bam's fault. I thought Bam looked really good in his minutes. especially in the beginning. I mean, they were just going. I do think that Miami might want to pick up the pace a little bit. Not that they can't work half-court offense, but when you have really big players like the Lakers, and it'll help them kind of get stuff to the rim. The AD stuff on Jimmy and just AD in the game. I mean, AD was phenomenal today. Not just the blocks, but just the deterrence, just the fact that he's there. Jimmy, it's just not programmed to do that. That's another thing. The overpassing in the second quarter. Like, come on, guys. Like, shit. Fuck. Like, you do the work. You're at the rim. Bro, throw it up. If you get a foul, whatever. If you don't, you fucking put the pressure on the refs. Put the pressure on the Lakers to defend you, to take you fucking seriously. Stop kicking it out to Jay Crowder. Those guys aren't hitting. Like, I understand. Like, you got to get your guys going. But, like, part of it is you're watching and you're just like, God damn. Stop passing out of layups. It's like, shit, Dwayne never passed out of layups. You know what I mean? Fucking try to finish. You're a good finisher. You're a good fucking player. If your shooting percentage goes down a little, whatever, that's what it's going to take.
It's that little push shot that Jimmy has in the lane. It works so good against smaller guys, and AD just takes that all away. They last game they really did a great job getting AD in foul trouble early, kept him in foul trouble, never let him get his rhythm offensively, and because of his foul trouble, he wasn't the same defensively. This game they did a really poor job attacking his body and letting him get the angles on him one-on-one, and that starts with Jimmy. But you saw Tyler do one too. He had AD in transition and he just missed the layup because he didn't attack him. And that's just, that's basic stuff for them. They need to do a much better job screening AD off of Jimmy when he's on him.
I thought Duncan did great today at that.
Yeah, but the thing is, they duck so far off of Jimmy that AD can recover on it, and that's where Jimmy needs to hit those mid-range shots and pull-ups that he hit last game, but he didn't really take his money this game.
How do you feel about them screening a little lower? Because, like, when you're screening really up top, Jimmy's not like a fast guy, so it's not like he's going to get that head of steam. So if you kind of screen,
like
not at the 3-point line, but if you maybe maybe a step in, Jimmy's a dribble or two away from the shot he wants.
Yeah, you could do that like from elbow sets, pinch post, like
kind of like
sets.
what Duncan and Parker used to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, kind of like that mid pick and
roll.
They
used to do that. They used to do that with LeBron too. Mario would set a little brush screen, and LeBron has one dribble and he's at the basket already, and that works. That would definitely work. I would try to set. What I would really love to see is more back screens on the ball, from the elbow. I like that idea by you. One, if you're going from 18 feet in, you set a little back screen on the ball, and it's really hard to recover there. And you put AD in a real tough predicament because if he crashes in, then you're giving up the pick and pop.
Yeah. The other thing I like is maybe getting Duncan moving off a screen, right? So instead of coming right into the handoff, you kind of have him curl off one screen and then go into the handoff. So like if you have a guy like KO, and then KO can slip because he's so good at finishing and catching in the paint, and then now all of a sudden you don't just have, because like what the Heat have done is they're just isolating themselves, which was really good against the Bucks, but against the Lakers it sucks. They're just isolating their action up top where that handoff is happening, and there's not really much else going on. So if you can get a guy kind of screening and then diving to the rim, and then you can have Duncan come off and you have Jimmy or Bam as a trigger man, and all of a sudden now you have moving parts. Now you can move because you can fake the handoff, you can hit the cutter, you can give it to Duncan with a man trailing, right? So, and then as AD defending Jimmy, all of a sudden you have a lot of decisions to make on what you want to do when the best shooter on the floor is coming off for that shot.
You see the new picture I have in my background?
I do.
From the Miami official IG.
What does it say, Brian?
It says, burying the boats for Friday. I want to believe, guys. I don't.
Brian, like, I don't know if they're going to win this series or not. I don't know if they're going to force a game 7. All I know is that I think for game 6, they're going to come out with a fucking haymaker. I think that we've seen this too much. Spo is too good a coach not to adjust this way. And this is how the series goes. You get a game, they're going to adjust. I thought after the first half, Spo adjusted so well. And then you kind of play that game 3, and it's awesome. You play that game 2 that you just didn't have enough, but it was pretty like competitive, even though it kind of wasn't. And then you play that game 3. Jimmy has a masterpiece. And then you play this game 4, and you're in the game, even though I don't think they played well. And they're just missing that little bit, which that little bit could be Goran. That little bit could be some shooting. They have a little bit of stuff.
50-50 balls.
That game 5 is going to be important. That game 5.
Oh, it's the season. Backs against the wall. See who they are.
Listen, today was not a burn the boats day. Game 3, burn the boats day. Today was not a burn the boats game. Next game is a burn the boats game. I guarantee you, burn the boats is not sent in that locker room before this game. Because it just wasn't. It was not a burn the boats game. Right? Now it's a burn the boats game. And Denver just came back from a 3-1 deficit twice. LeBron did it against the Warriors. This is not an insurmountable thing. And if anything, all this Heat team has done is kind of go against odds. They always make it hard. This is who they are. They're down a man. Let's not forget they're down their leading fucking score in the playoffs. Like that's pretty insurmountable. If they get Goran back in any sort of facsimile, like I don't know if he'll be able to come back. I don't know if he can. I don't know if he will.
Apparently that like podcasts, and there was one that I listened to which had Amin and Jason Jackson. They were talking to a medical expert. Injury past years past, that injury specifically, it takes about 11 games, regular season games, 10-11 regular season games for that injury to kind of heal up and players to come back.
He beat MD,
the
baby.
fasciitis?
Huh?
Are you talking about the Gorans?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's man. I've strained my fasciitis before, and it's fucking unbearable. I can't imagine. No, but I'm saying I can't imagine tearing it and fucking playing on that. That's a whole different level of man that I aspire to be.
Guys, I see you in the chat, and I want y'all to vent. Chat here on our twitch.tv.
They've been venting. We're just kind of ignoring them. I mean,
no, yeah. I want y'all to vent. I want you to
let them speak.
I want y'all to tell us what you're feeling. I'm here to bring you up. I'm here to tell you that Game 5 is going to be a lot better than what we saw today. And as bad as today was, can we say more bad things about Nunn? I don't know what else. I don't know what more bad things we can say about Nunn. Amass 1992. I've said plenty. I've been dunking on Nunn. Since
is he on
game
this team next
1
year?
of the regular season.
God, I hope he's not on this team next game.
Because I don't think he's on this team
We're
next
gifting
year.
out tier 1 subs here on twitch.tv/MIA Heatbeat. Got some positivity.
This is
Let's go.
Nunn's career
affiliates
change.
now. So we get ads. So if you want to subscribe and not see ads before we start streaming.
Are we affiliates yet?
We are
Brian
affiliates
M?
yet. No, we
Are
are.
we affiliates?
I logged in. The first thing I saw was an ad.
Oh, really? We're an affiliate.
Yeah.
Is that it? Is that how it worked?
Yeah.
Our mod, Brian? Oh, hell yeah.
Out
Let's
here.
go, guys. Maybe the Heat didn't win, but we did. Let's go.
We got subscriptions now. In fact, we can actually start posting emotes.
Oh, we need emotes. We need Marcus
And
Camby emotes.
we got like a point system now. I don't know what we want to call it. I know one of my favorite streamers is Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park, and he calls it Shinoda Bucks. We need to have a cool name for our point system.
We need a cool name. Anti-Nun Bucks. Yeah,
That's
so
not a cool
subscribe.
name.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
You're
but we
right.
got. I
Well,
mean,
you'll-
I
Beat
guess
Bucks.
we can have ways where we can have like questions submitted if you use your points.
Oh, look at that. There's cool stuff going on in the
Hype
stream
train.
chat.
What's that?
Please watch us. If you're listening on the podcast, by the way, we're doing these streams after every
Culture
game.
coins. I like that.
Culture
Oh,
coins,
that's
Amass.
awesome.
Let's go. We
That's a good
love
one.
it. Let's go. Yeah, guys, if you're listening on the pod, because we post all these to the pod and we post them all on YouTube, we're streaming this on twitch.tv/MIA Heatbeat after every single game in the playoffs. We've had a ton of fun, whether it's win or loss. We're here to talk you off the ledge. We're here to listen to you vent, give you a platform, make you feel good. And when there wins, you bet your ass we are celebrating. There's a hype train. We are trying to bring the culture to you. Today, obviously, not the greatest day. By the way, I knew today was bad when my paddleboard exploded. I went to go paddleboard today, and my fucking thing bursted for the third time. So I'm officially denouncing it dead. So
Ooh, we got another.
pour one out for my paddleboard for all the repairs I've done.
Another potential name for our points system.
Oh,
Gut Bucks.
Gut Bucks.
Ooh.
I like Culture Coins better. Gut Bucks is good.
Culture Coins is kind of cool just because the alliteration on it's kind of
Senpai
cool.
Note says Beat Buds, but that sounds like Basketball Buds, which is another podcast. So I don't think we could go with that. But I love Culture Coins. Culture Coins is good. Gut Bucks is great. Gut Bucks is great. Guys, like I know that we all like feel like shit. They played bad and they were in that game. And I've said, and it's funny because I didn't pick the Lakers. I picked the Heat to win, right? That's the first series other than the Pacers that I picked the Heat in. And it's just weird how good I felt about this series. And I think at times we've been able to see how the matchups have been really favorable for Miami.
I love Frankie just changing his background every
Yeah, Frankie changed his background. Well, he went from Ava to now My Hero Academia, so a real downgrade in anime
Frankie, do you
quality.
watch anime?
Frankie
I
does.
do.
Frankie was DMB Rex.
I have.
Why don't we have you on with Solomon Hill next time?
Yeah, we gotta.
Because I wasn't
Gotta have
invited.
If he
on
wants to
Solomon.
come back, he probably won't ever come back.
Chat saying that Ethan picked the Heat to win tonight. Ethan, you gotta know better. Ethan better not try to go to the bubble. I swear to God, if Ethan goes to the bubble, Alf, Leif, Alex, somebody stop him. Leif, I know you still listen. Stop him.
Somebody started GoFundMe to keep Ethan away from the bubble. But
What is Ethan gonna do with that, buddy? Does that money go to Alex?
He said he wanted to give it to charity, but I was looking at that. It was
Alex's charity.
It was up
Alex's charity. Alex changed your name to charity.
The GoFundMe was
Tropical
up for like 12
charity.
hours, and there was 0 donations. So
0. Wow.
Tropical bus.
I think the utility of making the GoFundMe is just a funny enough joke. I think it's worth it for that. By the way, Dwayne's Finals MVP trophy's on the line here. Jimmy Butler better not let him down. I'm actually really mad at people on Twitter like calling Jimmy Butler like not that good. I was like, dude was one assist away from another
triple double basically.
He was one assist away
Jimmy-
from another triple double.
Jimmy had a better finals performance than fucking LeBron ever did in Miami.
I'm sorry
Fuck
he didn't
outta
score
here.
40 points, but like he look,
Jimmy's,
Jimmy
like,
should have
low-key
been a little
having,
bit more
like, a
aggressive
fucking
at
great
certain
series.
points of the game, but I don't blame him for trying to get other people involved because you can't win 4 straight games with Jimmy trying to do what he
Jimmy
does.
low-key might have like the third or fourth best finals like performance for Miami of all time. Like even if they lose in 5, like
Oh, you
what
know,
he's
it's
done
top 3 easily behind. Well, finals or just overall playoffs? Because
Just
overall
overall finals, like a finals series.
finals,
like,
it's probably number 1 actually,
It's-
in my opinion.
No,
I think it's number
It's
Dwayne-
up there with
Dwayne and
Dwayne's.
Dwayne and no.
You can make a
Dwayne,
case. You can
By
make
the
a
way,
case.
when Dwayne had a 40-point game in Game 3, he followed up with another 40-point game in Game 4.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
It was like 39 or something.
Was it 40 though? And he didn't
It
have a
was a lot.
triple double, and he also didn't force LeBron to 7 turnovers.
You're right. He just made Dirk Nowitzki kick a chair.
He took a championship away from Jason Terry. That's bigger than
Come
anything.
on, what more do you want? Jason Terry's
Jason
so
Terry.
fucking annoying.
But now
Rondo's so annoying.
Dwayne's pretty much the only one besides Jimmy's game that I think matches up. The only
Chat.
the other playoff game that I was looking that probably would rank up there is LeBron's Game 6 against Boston.
Chat,
Yeah,
I
but
want to ask you
LeBron-
what. Go, Frankie.
I was gonna say LeBron's Game 7 against Spurs was great, but I take some credit away. Like I take some difficulty away because fucking he had like 6 threes, but like 6 of them were wide the fuck open because the Spurs dropped to fucking the paint. On
That's
his
what Jimmy
pick and
needs to do, by the way. What LeBron did, that's what Jimmy needs to do.
roll. Yeah, I just don't think Jimmy's capable of that.
I mean, LeBron, by the way, bailed out by a lot of threes because he was not very good, and he hit
Yo,
a bunch of
KCP
threes and not
saved
really.
his ass. KCP hit that 3 KCP hit gave them such fucking life
You
because
realize
that was a
LeBron
back
got
and
hurt-
forth game.
LeBron got hurt towards the end. They didn't even give him the ball. They just gave it to Rondo to just initiate offense.
Oh wow, one of your best players got hurt. Wonder what the fuck that's like.
Yeah, and then AD got hurt
What's
at
that
one
like?
point too, and he
God.
didn't really get the ball at all. Like basically, it was LeBron just pick and roll. They didn't even pass the ball to Anthony Davis until that 1-3 towards the end of the game that kind of put it away. But still, like they weren't
LeBron
going
almost-
to AD towards the end of the game. It was just LeBron, and they won more of those
LeBron
matchups
had
because they got second possessions out of them, even though they missed a lot of threes towards the end. And both still the Heat Well, actually, it was funny because the Heat were shooting 27%. They ended up going up to like 33 for the game. That's because of the fourth quarter.
LeBron had as many turnovers as KCP had field goals.
Yo, LeBron's been awful with the fucking ball. He's turning that shit over like crazy.
Yep.
Jimmy's usage is like probably through the fucking roof, and he's like barely turned the ball over. That's outrageous.
Yeah, and with how much pressure the Lakers are throwing off the ball to take away those fucking passes, you would think he would have more fuck ups, but he's doing a great job just finding an open guy midair.
You know what the other thing that pissed me off was that Spo went back to that dumbass Andre at center lineup. I fucking hate that thing.
They forced like 2 LeBron turnovers down.
I don't care. That thing sucks. Andre's been bad.
It wasn't. I mean, they only play a couple of minutes, but
and the Lakers lead was like 7 at that point, and it was like really. I don't think did they ever take the lead after that.
No.
Like Andre at center sucks.
chat needs to be nice to each other. They're fighting each other right now.
Chat, be nice. Come on, be nice. We fight with Laker fans, not with each other. Come on, let's be nice.
Someone says One Piece is greater than My Hero Academia.
One Piece is way too long. I'm not watching that shit.
Chat,
vent. Come on, tell us what you feel.
I mean, they're basically just saying everything that happened in the game. They couldn't hit their open threes. We couldn't hit an open three to save our life.
I need
with bum knee D Wade his whole career crying me a river. Yeah, that's what the chat's being mad about because this guy's slandering Wade right now.
Oh, you don't slander Wade. Don't mind. Slander
Come on,
LeBron.
man.
You don't slander Wade. Come on, that's the playbook is slander LeBron, not Dwayne Wade.
We got a comment deleted by a moderator. I missed it.
That happens a lot, Brian. I don't know how much you pay attention to the chat.
What else is on here?
Rob Slater tweets out, Lakers fans needed this one after their Yankee loss. It's so true. I mean, they're like the most... Listen, I think that Heat fans, like, we're annoying. As a fan base, we're annoying, which is good. We want to be annoying. We don't want to not be annoying. Our job is to be annoying, and we're good at it. Laker fans are so fucking annoying. God, they're the worst. And I'm disappointed in Heat Twitter because I feel like Heat Twitter is not beefing enough with Laker Twitter. And I feel like we have had, like, after that game 3, that was our chance to talk shit. I've been the only person to be under fire from Laker Twitter. By the way, Heat Twitter left me out to dry.
It was you and Stugotz.
Stugotz and I were the only people out here against Laker Twitter, and y'all left us out to dry. I've never felt more alone. I was like, my community does not give a single shit about me. I'm here fighting with Laker fans, making fun of Kyle Kuzma and all their stuff, and nobody came to back me up. Not a one of you. I had nobody in solidarity with me. I just got beaten. Not even my own podcast co-hosts. Nobody.
We got one person that's on your side.
Who?
Shout out to Juve Jr. 13 who subscribed with Prime.
Let's go. We love to see it.
Yeah,
Nobody else.
If you guys do have Amazon Prime, which probably a lot of you do, you know you get a free subscription with your Amazon Prime. You just got to log into Amazon Prime or Twitch, AmazonPrime.com/Switch or something. Just Google it, and you can easily subscribe with your Prime account. It doesn't cost you a single dollar.
I think our moderator could make a script show up. Can you do that, Brian M? Can you do something? I don't know. I don't know how this new Fandangle technology works.
And it helps us out because we actually do get some of that commission and it can help us buy some more gear so we sound better.
I want to buy like a little. That's like Brian showed me like a little like switch thingy where I can like change scenes with a button. It looks really cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, maybe we could buy Brian a nice camera so Brian can have a nice camera for stream. Look at that. It's the stuff we do. Looking ahead. Fucking.
What do you guys want to talk about? Ask us questions.
We got
10 minutes. We got like 10 minutes left.
Yeah, we got like 10 minutes left.
questions.
Chat. We want to include you. And by the way, you listeners at home, remember twitch.tv/MIHeatbeat after every game. These are fun after wins. Let me tell you. Today we're reeling, but after wins, we got this. Why is Kendrick Nunn? Man, you guys really hate Kendrick Nunn. Jesus Christ.
Why is Kendrick Nunn? Asked because he got COVID.
Wear a mask.
Kendrick Nunn is a bit wear a mask.
How do you feel about LeBron winning his 4th against the Heat? Not good.
That doesn't even bother me. That part of it doesn't bother me.
LeBron needs to thank the Heat. without the Heat, he wouldn't have 3 of his fucking championships. That's what I say to that. If they fucking win this one.
Like, legit, the LeBron angle doesn't bother me because, like, that guy's fucking good. Like, that guy's the best basketball player ever. Like, that's whatever.
Listen,
The part that bothers me.
I want to lose to him. I don't like. Imagine if we lost to the Denver Nuggets if they made it to the finals.
Nah, if we lose to Jokic, I'd feel better about losing to Jokic.
I feel worse.
I
Another
wouldn't feel
question.
that.
JJ Redick has
I
been
love
flirting
Jokic.
with Jimmy and Duncan. Can we make that happen? I think that could happen.
No,
in
no more bad
2021.
defenders. No, 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 no.
No more
You
white
think
No more
guys.
bad
Duncan can
defenders.
learn from JJ Redick?
No, 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 no.
No more
He
white
can learn
guys,
from
that's
JJ
it.
Redick
I
at
got
a
enough.
distance. No, I've had enough of dudes that can't fucking guard anybody that get picked on a pick and roll.
Bro, we could have
No,
used
no,
some
no, no.
shooting
Fuck
today.
that.
JJ Redick
I don't
could
care.
have been useful today.
I want a fucking guy who could play defense, who could switch, who could do it. No, I'm done with these fucking people. Yeah, Amasa's right. If he wants a minimum contract, we're all here for it.
Well, that's
I'm
probably
not
all
here-
you can afford because if we're gonna get Giannis, that's about
I'm
it.
just fucking sick of dudes
You
getting
got
like
Max Bam.
all their guards are bad at defending. All of them. All of them. Duncan's like gotten okay and still burned by KCP at the end off the dribble.
Who's a better defender, Bam or AD? Probably AD.
80. I mean,
80,
just Bam's not
easy.
there yet. I
But
mean,
Bam
Bam's a
could be
30-year
there.
player.
He could be there.
I mean, AD's like you
AD's
know,
a lot older too. I mean,
that's not fair
Bam's
to
young
compare
as
Bam.
fuck.
I mean, Bam's not in his prime yet, guys. Bam's a fucking baby. Bam's in his third year. Like, give
Baby
him
Bam.
time.
but he should be
I
first
like
team
early-
All NBA. That's my prediction next year. He'll be first team All NBA.
I think the thing that Bam should work on in the offseason more than the defense, because I think that's going to come. I mean, the rim protection, I think, should get a little better for him. I don't think he's there as a rim protector yet. But the stuff he showed today and in Game 6, of facing up, going at people, dribbling with purpose, that's what I want to see. Like, that's the stuff that really got him taken out of the game because of the foul calls. Because, like, man, Game 6, Bam logged the fuck on in that first and second quarter. And then we just never saw that. And if they're going to have AD defend Jimmy, and if they really don't have a solution for that, the solution is, okay, if you're not going to put AD on Bam, Markieff Morris, get the fuck over here. Let's go. I mean, that's the solution. You're going to guard me with these guys? Pfft, okay.
How do you guys feel about Jimmy guarding AD?
Yeah, I mean,
I thought-
AD didn't
Whatever.
really go off today. For the most part, their defense wasn't the issue. It's just the
the
offense.
defense was oddly good today.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say I was gonna
The
compliment
switching was
Spoke.
fine.
No, but what they're finding with that matchup is Jimmy and Andre do a really good job with
Yeah, as
with
long
their
as they're
hands.
fronting, that was their that
And
was
they don't
part
let
of the reason they
AD
converted a lot of turnovers is because they weren't able to get good position when they were trying to post up, and then LeBron just had errant passes trying to get the ball inside the paint, and they couldn't.
And almost throwing
Another
away post entries. That was fucking nuts.
That's the fronting is the Spo special. They've been doing that shit since the Big 3 days.
we got another prime subscription by the Riley Wilson. Shout out to you.
Let's go. Guys, I gotta be honest with you. Like, that shit makes me so happy. Thank you so much for subscribing like that. Like, you don't understand. You know, Brian and I started this a long time ago, almost 8 years ago. And for you guys subscribing and listening, and the download numbers, not to brag, but like the download numbers have been better than ever. I mean, we're putting out content like every day, almost every other day, and you guys have been listening at a rate that you never have before. I know that the team's good, but you guys have been there when the team was bad. You guys have been there when we covered Dion Waiters and Hassan Whiteside. So man, like, thank you so much for subscribing, for becoming these Twitch Prime stuff, like everything, like joining the Discord. Like, y'all are awesome, and like, thank you so much for everything, guys. Like, for being here after loss. I know it's tough. We're toughing it out.
We're being rated by Lakers fans right now.
Like, go over here, Laker fans. Thanks for the view. Thank you for the stream view. I appreciate that.
Played yourself.
I love it. Like, huh?
They played themselves. They're helping us.
You played yourself. Hey, thank you for the stream view by putting LA Lakers. Let's go.
The
Troll us all you
X.
want.
More,
Yeah, troll us. Let's go. Give us some stream views.
yeah. The more you're on here, the more culture coins you earn. So
The more
Invite your
culture coins
friends.
you get.
Invite your friends.
Wow, there's a lot
tweet
of you
us.
in here. Thank you.
Let's
Thank you for
go.
joining. You want to be Twitch subscribers?
we gotta come
That's
up with
so
like
funny.
some good rewards for these points.
I'm telling y'all, Heat Twitter, we need to step up against Laker Twitter. This is just not going well. We have to step up. We're not at the peak of our game.
Maybe we can do like video game stuff. Maybe we can play each other in video games or something.
That's so
stream it.
lame. We need to slander and dox people. That's what Heat Twitter
No,
does.
that could be like a reward. Like, hey,
What are you talking
we-
about?
I don't know if you guys have Animal Crossing. I can fucking visit
play
your island
Super
or some
Smash.
shit. Or I can play 2K.
Settle it in Smash.
Something like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Any other
This is for
comments
Twitter.
before we go? Any other questions, guys?
That guy cooked you guys last game. Fuck out of here, Lakers.
Tyler Hero has completely outplayed Kuzma in the ex-girlfriend bowl. Absolutely cooked Kuzma.
Yep.
Other
Zero to
thing, by
hero.
the way, is that, you know, like, as much as length has bothered Jimmy Butler this series, I think he's gotten pretty good looks off Kuzma, off Morris, off a lot of guys, even off LeBron. I think clearly the stuff that's bothering him most is that drop, and I think that's kind of solvable. And especially what we said earlier, like, if Bam can kind of take advantage of the mismatches on the other part of the floor.
Yeah,
Jimmy
they need to,
didn't hit it.
yeah,
like-
they go ahead.
No, go.
No, I was saying they need to take their advantages where they can get them. Last game they had a lot of Jimmy success forcing the weaker guys. You know, the Lakers have a lot of great guard defenders in Green, Caruso, Rondo, KCP, but they're not stronger than Jimmy, and Jimmy was fucking overpowering them at the rim last game. Their adjustment was to take all that away from them and send extra help early and force Jimmy to pass out of it. And Jimmy was too passive. He should have been more aggressive, trying to get more shots at the rim, trying to get fouled a little more. And you know, the Heat not making the Lakers pay for sending that extra help really helped the Lakers' decision making on that end.
A couple things that I think for the 100% like biggest adjustments, I think first and foremost, please stop overpassing. Jimmy, please stop overpassing. God, you're so good. You don't have to overpass. I think kind of involving more guard screens, attacking those matchups, kind of lowering that screen as we talked about earlier, kind of attack those seams a lot better, kind of get more movement off ball, so have guys screen for Duncan as he comes up for the handoff. I think that's going to help a lot. I think that's going to get Olynyk going too, which I said before, which I think is a big part of this, because if Kelly's not giving you what he gives you offensively the other games, it's just everything is like in the mud. The Lakers are a really good defensive team. Anthony Davis is a really, really special player, and he absolutely wrecked what Miami tried to do at the rim today. So kind of by getting that movement going off ball, you muck up their defense a little bit. You put him in positions where he has to choose, and when you have to choose and when your brain has to work that split second, I think the Heat have been really, really good at attacking those teams. There was a play earlier where the Lakers made a mistake on a switch, and Jimmy got space and went immediately to the rim, took the contact from LeBron, and finished. Like, these guys make these reads and decisions so quickly. And I think the more movement you have in your offense, the more the other people have to think, and the more that these high-level players can get the kinds of shots they want. So, like, that's the stuff that was really missing for me today. There was just not a lot of movement off ball, and it just sucks because that's not Miami Heat basketball. That's not who the Heat have been this whole postseason. It's not the heavy motion-based stuff, and it's just unfortunate because we know that they can do it. And I know that given, you know, the extra day's rest, Spo's going to be able to adjust. Spo's going to do a lot of stuff, and I think that's going to work out pretty well.
Can't wait to get back to the finals with Giannis against LeBron, and then we can finally have a fucking even series.
Well, I mean, if they had Goran, I feel like it'd be a lot different. Frankie, do you have any other adjustments that you're looking for in Game 5?
The fucking backs against the wall. Off the court, you got to burn the boats now. They need to win the 50-50 battles, loose balls, offensive rebounds. They can't that transition. They got to out hustle the Lakers now. They got to get Jimmy being aggressive. He's got to be the lead guy. Tyler needs to get going too. I need to see more from Tyler. It sucks because he's a rookie. You shouldn't have to depend on him for this point. But it's also the first time all playoffs that he's looked like a rookie. And credit to the Lakers for making him uncomfortable. But it's time. If you want to win this series, he's got to grow up. He's got to knock down those open shots.
He's been more than a fourth quarter player.
Yeah. The thing the Heat are really missing from Goran is the pull up threat from against the drop coverage. They don't have anybody. If Jimmy, Jimmy's not going to take that.
Season. It was none, and then
it was none in Goran, and then Jimmy's not going to take it. Nunn's not hitting shit, and Hero's not hitting them either.
And Duncan's not even taking it either in transition. I got your offensive rating numbers finally, G.
Woohoo! What do we got? Can I guess?
Sure.
Can I guess? Is it 96?
No.
No, that's too low. No. It's 104.
Damn, that was actually pretty dead on. 104.3.
I knew it. Yeah, like they've been at like 115 for the series.
It was their second lowest. 101. They were 101 even in game 1. Game 2, 125.3, which is insane.
Yeah.
Game 3, 116.2. Game 4, 104.3.
So their defense?
Before tonight, they were at like 115, which is just like a really good offense. Like if I think a reasonable thing for the Heat to get to. I think if they can get to 109 for a game, I think that's a reasonable thing that they can do to win the game.
Yep.
I think that
they could have if they made like 3 threes or 4 threes.
And that's what the game comes down to. I mean, a couple missed threes, a couple kind of weird funky plays, a couple weird rebounds, and that's it. I mean,
that fucking
they
Mark
get
Jackson
98. They get
line.
98% of the way there, and then they don't do it. You know, LeBron hits a monster fadeaway over Jimmy. AD hits that big three, that big KCP Jimmy Butler swing.
Yep. They made the basket.
You know, and again, like, you know, Heat fans could be upset, and I think they should rightfully be disappointed and upset at kind of how some of the stuff went down with Nunn and everything. But they're right there. They're really undermanned. I mean, their leading scorer in the playoffs is out. You kind of hope that he can find some life and get to go for Game 5. And if he can't, you know, like, your offense has enough. We've seen it. If guys just hit shots, it's a lot different. So I think that's kind of where we are. I think we're at a point in the series where we're pretty aware of what every team can do. I don't know what it's funny because I said this last time too, but I don't really know what else the Lakers can do defensively if Miami is able to solve that AD on Jimmy wrinkle. And there might not be enough time in games and stuff. So that's the stuff to look at. Remember to subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow us on Twitter at MIAHeatBeat. Follow me at Gianavas103. You can follow Brian at Brian Goins. Frankie, you can follow him at FrankieG_. Is that right?
Yeah.
With a Y. Got it. If you miss any VODs on these live streams, you can check them out on YouTube. We upload all the shows in full. Miami Heat Beat is the YouTube channel. Please subscribe. It really helps us, and we're trying to grow that. We just kind of started the YouTube. We had an old project where we tried to do the YouTube channel like when we started, and then we never touched it, right? So there was like 3 videos from like 2016 or 2015. I don't even know. It's really old. Oh, man, it might be 2015. And then we never really touched it after that, and we're trying to resuscitate it and kind of work on that. So please subscribe to that. Listen to the pod, Spotify, Apple Pods, anywhere you get your pods. Our stream in the offseason, we're going to do some fun stuff. Follow all our writers and podcasters, Nikias Duncan, Brass Jazz, Alex Toledo, Christian and Christian. all our names. So thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you so much for all like the stuff. It's Heat in 7. We got the guts. We got this. Let's go. Give Eric Spoelstra some time. Do it for Gogi. We love Goran Dragic. Y'all are great.